Hello everyone, I'm Nicole and welcome to my channel. Today we are building our Plum Generations house. On my Twitch channel, we have been playing the Not So Berry Challenge, and right now we are almost done with our gray gen, Grayson. So it's time for us to build the house for Plum Gen. Our idea was that we would build him a tiny home and have him move in once he ages up to a young adult. So we're gonna build Plum Gen's tiny home right now. If you like this video, don't forget to comment in the comment section, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when we are putting up videos in the future. Let's get started. Like I said, we are building our house for Plum Gen. For all of my Not So Berry Sims, I have been trying to build their house from the bottom up. So I've always seen people put an item on a lot and make it ginormous so that you can see it from all the way out in the world. So I figured I'd try it. It was just for fun, but let's get into actually building. So because we only have 32 tiles, I figured that we'd start off with just something small, placing random squares anywhere, and then we could figure them out together after we've placed them. I wasn't sure how I wanted it to look, but I figured once I got it down, I'd be able to pull it together and figure out how exactly I wanted it to look. Once we got the squares placed, I figured let's move it back to the middle so it's in the middle of the lot as opposed to being closer to the front. I was actually trying to figure out how I can get the bathroom to be a little bit smaller without adding extra tiles. So I was trying to see if I can just add a wall, but it wasn't working. So I figured I would just move on to the roof and try to figure out the flooring later on. I knew I wanted a purple door, but I wasn't sure if there were any purple doors with windows. So I went with this flowery one that I thought was really cute, and I figured it worked. Then of course we were trying to do purple windows, and there weren't a lot of options there either. So I kind of liked the taller purple windows, but because the house was shorter and it wasn't very big, I figured I'd go with the smaller windows for the most part, but I had to put the taller window in at least the one living room area. Of course, there was no purple siding, so we just went with white siding, which was fine. I wanted the house to be raised a little bit so that we had to walk upstairs to get in, but for some reason, I completely forgot how to even raise the platform and raise the house up. So I was struggling trying to figure it out, but I got it. Sometimes I watch other people build and it's amazing to see how they pull their ideas together and make it look so fantastic. And I sometimes struggle with getting my build to look exactly the way that I want it to, or pulling the items that The Sims has available to us and making it look as good as some of the builds that I've seen. I was trying to figure out getting a purple roof, and I wasn't sure if it was really working for me. None of the purples were really the shade of purple that I was looking for, but in the end, although it sort of looks red, I kind of was okay with the way that the roof looked. I still kind of felt like I wanted a door with a window, and I couldn't find a purple door that had a window in it, so I gave up on that mission altogether and just stuck with the door that I initially liked with the pink flower on it. I couldn't figure out how I was gonna fit all of what I needed in the living room and kitchen area. So I initially thought maybe I'd go with a mini fridge, and it wasn't really working with the cabinets that I was trying to use. Plus, I didn't really like the dark purple cabinets with the fridge that I had chosen. So I decided to change that altogether and just get a few counters, the one taller fridge, and hope that that would fit in the space. There's this new wainscoting item that came with the newest kit, and I wanted to try to use it. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to fit it into the build, but I wanted to try to use it. It wasn't perfect with the initial color scheme that I was thinking, with having kind of a white and purple look, but it worked out. I actually really liked the way that it turned out and really liked the way that it looked. Once I saw it and really liked the way that it looked, I was kind of hoping I could use it on all of the windows, but they only had the shorter one for the full size, and I didn't think that would look right with the other windows. So I went with just the taller window and left the other windows plain. Then I started trying to figure out again how I could get the counters that I wanted to fit in the room and still have space, because in my mind, I also wanted a couch and a little TV, but unfortunately there was just not enough room for that. So I tried to rearrange the space to make it work, but unfortunately we just couldn't fit all of what I initially wanted in the space in that small room to have both the counters, the dining room, and a living room area. I was struggling with trying to go between the kitchen area and the bedroom because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do in the dinette kitchen area. I was getting a little frustrated and decided to just go to the bedroom and place a few items in there. I tried to place a little chair, but again, I wanted a TV and a small TV stand too, but there wasn't space to have the TV stand, the TV, and a table for them to dine. I really liked that chair. I think that's also from the kit. So I thought it was really cute, and I felt like it went really well with the color scheme that I was going with in the dinette area. I kind of felt like the walls were a little plain, and I wanted to put something on the walls, but I couldn't really find anything that I felt fit at this particular moment. I wanted to put something on the counters too, but there wasn't a lot of counter space. So I ended up just leaving the counters blank and trying to find wall decor later. My thoughts eventually came together with the dinette area, and it ended up being really cute and really small, but perfect for our little Plum Gen, who isn't going to need a lot of space right now anyway. That chair that I attempted to put in the kitchenette area, I then put it in the bedroom, hoping that it could sort of be like a little study area, but we needed to see how it all fit once we got everything into the bedroom. I was struggling because I wanted to put a bookcase in there, but there was no space for a bookcase, so I just went ahead and deleted the chair altogether and put a little side table there where I could put the bookcase right on top. So at Grayson's house, Plum Gen's mom, there's a dance floor, this purple light up dance floor that I put outside. And so I was thinking that I would have the same thing at Plum's house outside. Once I started in the bathroom, it actually wasn't that difficult to pull the bathroom together because I realized that I could use one of those wall showers and it would be able to fit in that bathroom space really nicely. So it was pretty simple pulling the bathroom together. It didn't take a lot of bells and whistles. The floor was actually pretty easy too, and I thought that I was gonna have a harder time with the floor because of course I was looking for purple stuff, but it actually looks fine without the purple because it would have been a little too much to have the purple on the floor and on the walls. And I love the wallpaper that I found to really tie in with the different color purples that I have around the house. So here I am again with this struggling to figure out how I can make this outside dance area look really cool. But the issue with where I have it outside at Gray Jen's house is that every time it rains or snows, the stereo breaks. So I was trying to figure out how I can have it outside, and I realize now after doing the build that I probably should put some sort of tent or canopy over the stereo, and that might help and not take away tiles from our tiny home. And then of course I was trying to get some lights and make it really cool and fancy, but I couldn't find string lights that were purple. And the ones that were purple were super festive and way more than what I was trying to do with the area outside. So I tried a couple different colors. The pink didn't work, the blue didn't work. So I ended up going with these little flower ones, which actually ends up looking really cute. It's a little girly for our boy Plum, but I love the look, and he's a dancer. So as long as he has his dance floor, who cares? I kind of felt that the house looked weird without another window. So I was trying to squeeze that window in, and I eventually figured out how to get it to fit. I realized that the roof was over too far, and I needed to pull it back a little bit. Once I moved the actual space of the house in his bedroom, I realized that the roof was actually too far. So once I moved the roof, it actually worked out pretty nicely with the window there. So I never used this Plum Bob poster, but I thought it was actually really cute and fit the vibes of the room to give it a different pop of color. So I used the Plum Bob. It actually looks really nice. I didn't use a lot of clutter, and I actually think that once Plumo moves in, we can add a few more things. I do realize that I want him to have a guitar, which he has at his mom's house, but once he moves here, he can buy a new one, or maybe we can put it in his inventory and he can bring it with him. Also, he doesn't have a chess set, which I think I also want him to have because I want to get his logic up. He needs 6 skills at level 8. So we need to get a lot of activities around the house for him to do. And right now we only have the dance floor. Once he officially moves in, I think that we'll go ahead and get a few more activities for him to do so he can gain those. So doing the outside of the house is always my worst nightmare because I never feel like I pull it together to make it look really cute. And again, watching other people's builds, it's so hard to see them do something so fantastic with the outside, and I sometimes don't know where to even start. But I found these 2 purple trees and a few bushes that I liked, and then there were purple flowers, which once I made them smaller, actually looked really good. So I was really happy with it. And then once I put down the terrain paint and the walkway, it actually turned out to be really, really nice. I was pretty impressed with myself. So it's my understanding that there is a piranha pond out there, and I wanted to get the piranha pond because I kind of think that since Plum Gen is going to have Orange Gen, who's supposed to be a little on the mean and evil side, I wanted to get the piranha pond because I thought it would be fitting. I thought that it would be something different to add to the gameplay and just be interesting to see what happens. So I was trying to find the piranha pond. I don't know where to get it. If you know where to get it, please drop it in the comments so that I can find out where to get this piranha pond before Plum moves into this house or after he moves in. I'd really like to know. I found this heart pond, and my favorite shape is hearts. So I was like, let's see if this heart pond will allow me to get piranhas. It didn't, and I ended up deleting the pond. I'm wondering if maybe because there's not actually anyone living there, I wasn't able to add piranhas. I'm hoping that eventually I can find this piranha pond and add it to my game. By the end of the build, I was actually pretty satisfied with the way that it turned out. And the overall look of what I imagined it to be. Plum is going to move out of his mom's house, so I wanted something small, thinking that he's a struggling med student or struggling through his residency. Once he changes over to the entertainment career, he can then move into Dulcel Valley. I know that Plum is supposed to have Orange Gen, and I don't really know if I want him to have Orange Gen later in life when he moves to Dulcel Valley. But I'm thinking that even if he ends up having Orange Gen in this house, we could always upgrade it from the smallest tiny home to maybe the middle one to add a little room. So all in all, I think that this actually turned out really good. I'm actually really satisfied with the way that the house looks. And like I said, I think it fits perfectly with my idea of where I want Plum to start when he first moves out of his parents' home. Again, I do stream the Not So Very Challenge on my Twitch channel, which I'll link in the description below. And reminder again, if you enjoyed this video, to like and subscribe so you know when I'm posting videos in the future. I'm also thinking about doing a shell challenge, so let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing the shell challenge posted on YouTube as well. And don't forget to tell me where I can find that piranha pond because I want Plum to have a piranha pond. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.